Wrestling fans, welcome to our 36th Google Hangout. So today we're going to touch on a couple things, do a quick Google Hangout. But first, announcements. This Monday we have our junior high meeting and general members meeting. Monday, the 24th of September at Juan Diego High School. Junior high meetings at 5:30. General members meeting is at 6:30. So these meetings go over schedules, new items. We elect new board members. So it's important to be at. So if you can make it there, Juan Diego, starting at 5:30, junior high meeting, 6:30, general members meeting. Please do so. This is for everybody. Second announcement is we have our Utah Wrestling Hall of Fame banquet on October 1st, Monday 1st at UVU. We induct 3 members into the Hall of Fame, Russ Paulson, Mike Ripplinger, and Jeff Holtry. And we do a bunch of awards that night as well. So please come support it. The money from this event goes towards the UVU wrestling team, the only collegiate program in the state. I want to stress how important it is to support this program, Nate. Utah Valley is the only collegiate program in the state, and funding is huge. Whether you support the program, whether you like the program, or you hate the program, it doesn't really matter. In the end, if you are a wrestling fan, we need your help. We need to raise money for the program. They need it. Whether you donate $5, $10, $1,000, $5,000, whatever you can do is greatly appreciated. I know that, and is needed to help fund this program. Nate, kind of give us your thoughts on the importance of having a collegiate program in the state and donating to this cause.
When we were out to the state leadership summit out in Colorado Springs, they did mention that college wrestling is the lifeblood to wrestling just in general in our country. And so many of our Olympic wrestlers were all college wrestlers. So it is so important. We don't want to be like Boise State, lose our program. We don't want to give them any reason to have to do that. Let's get out there and support UVU, help them grow. They need the funding.
Yes. So if you can't attend that night, you can get on WrestlingUtah.com, go to the Hall of Fame banquet. We do have an online auction where you can make a donation or bid on different items as well. Or if you can't do that or whatever, you have something that you can donate to the auction, get in contact with us. We're still accepting donations that we put in the auction. So again, it is super important that we support the program. We help the funding part of the program. We do not want to lose this program ever. And so do your part, do what you can. Like I said, whether it's $5, $10, $50, $100,000, whatever it may be, it helps. And if everybody does a little bit, then a little bit goes a long way. So anyways, WrestlingUtah.com, make a donation, attend the banquet, help fund this collegiate program we have in the state. It will only help wrestling get better.
Jeff, one last thing on this UVU to help support them. If you look at some of the best wrestling states in the United States, they all have college programs and multiple college programs. And what happens is if you don't want to support UVU because you may not like UVU or might like the program, you're just hurting yourself in the long run, because of those other states, Pennsylvania, look at what happens. Those kids all wrestle in college, they come back and they're all become high school coaches, and they help grow their clubs. And so now you've got college wrestlers, all Americans coaching these clubs and these high schools. Well, the wrestling just gets better and better and better. And so we just need to do that. I mean, you are here, Jeff Clark. I can think of some other UVU wrestlers that have given back to Utah and has helped us a lot. So please get back to the program.
Yes.
It will help you out at some level, rather your kid's club or your high school that your kid goes to.
That's correct. So anyways, yes, get on WrestlingUtah.com, make a donation, attend the banquet, support that way. Support by, putting a bid in for the auction. However you can is helpful. So last announcement, Fall League every Saturday at UVU. Record numbers this year has been great. So come participate. You can pay $20 at the door to show up. Information again is on WrestlingUtah.com. All right, let's get in. We're gonna go through our top 10 girls. This ranking came out the day after our last podcast, so we're gonna go ahead and go over the top 10 girls and talk a bit about them a little bit. Number one and number two, they have arguments either way. Sage Mortimer, number 1, number 2, Kirsten Bush. Nate, kind of give us your thoughts on why Sage is number 1, why Kirsten's number 2.
I think when you win a national championship, you've got to be number 1. And not only that, but she placed in the boys division at Fargo, and I believe she was runner up too at
in the juniors.
Yep. So I mean, man, she brought home. She's pretty much the only wrestler that brought home hardware for us.
Right.
So she has to be number 1.
Yeah, I agree. I think not only her national title, but her 4th place finish at the high school state tournament in folk style, national title in the cadet level, 2nd place in the junior level, and the first and only girl to ever place in the boys Greco. I think all those things combined give her the number 1. She did lose to Kirsten Bush last year, but last year she was a small 106. She wrestled 100 pounds this summer, and she was 106. So she was a small 106 last year. Kirsten was, I don't know how much she was cutting, or if she was cutting to 113, but
either way, she was giving up 10 to 12.
Sage was giving up 14, quite a bit of weight. So the question is, do you penalize her for going up and taking that match, even though she did lose?
And it was a close match.
I don't even remember this.
If I remember right, it was a close match.
So, but obviously Kirsten is one of the best.
Kirsten's amazing.
She's awesome. She's a Fargo All-American. That's why she's number 2. Number 3, Marlon Dede, placed 3rd at the UWW Cadets. She's going to a national team camp. She's doing some great things. She'll be in the 52 to 60 range. Ronnie Weber, number 4 from Uinta, number 5 Mia May from West. Those 2 wrestled a couple years back. Ronnie beat Mia May a couple years back. Didn't wrestle last year, from my knowledge. Possible great all-star match right there.
Yeah.
Number 6, Trinity Spirited. Number 7, Tasty Tapia, Carbon Trinity from Layton. Both sophomores. Another match I would love to see that happened this year somewhere. I don't know if it can happen at the All-Stars or not. When you look at kind of the lineup, Sage needs a match. Kirsten's got to be in the All-Stars. I mean, those 2 got to be in the All-Stars. Who do they wrestle? I think they're going to be too far apart this year to do kind of a meet in the middle type of match. Anyways, I would love to see a Trinity Tasty match though. Number 8, Christina Smothers. Number 9, Savannah Valentine, and number 10, McKenna Staley from Bear River, Valentine from Fremont, and Christina from Weber. Christina, now she beat McKenna 11-8, so good match, and that's why she's ahead of McKenna. So top 10, super tough. Girls that got left off that could be deserving. And you have Tinley Jones, a freshman. She's gotten beat. I think she got beat by Trinity, but she's super tough, and you'll get to know her more as she gets older. Sydney Stout from Layton, Abby Archibald, Kathleen Janis, Alexa Camacho, Rebecca Hardman. I mean, the list goes on and on. Alyssa Pace, super tough girls group in Utah.
Hey, can I say one thing about this? Is 3, 4, 5 years ago, we couldn't even make a top 10 list of girls wrestlers in our state. I mean, we would be stretching. Now, I mean, we actually have a list deeper than 10, really.
Right.
We could probably go top 20 now. And, 3 or 4 years ago, we could maybe go 1, 2, 3 girls max, and now we've got a solid top 10. We actually are going to have some really good all-star matches. So girls wrestling is growing a lot in our state just over the last 2 years, really.
Yeah, no, girls wrestling is exploding. The level of girls wrestling in Utah is great. And before we know it, it's going to be our Beehive top 25 of girls. It's not going to just be the top 10. So super exciting, the growth in girls wrestling in Utah. We will come out with a youth girls ranking as well, probably in a few weeks still, but we're excited about that. Coaches, we encourage you guys to help us grow girls wrestling in Utah. One simple way you can do that is on your flyers that you give out to elementary school and junior highs, put on there that this is for wrestling is for boys and girls. I've noticed a lot of times I've gone to schools to hand out flyers that the administration handed, and they oh, we only have 200 boys in the school, and it only gives 200 flyers. And no, we want them to go to all boys and girls.
Yeah.
And we want girls to know that they're welcome and we want them on our team. So, coaches, an easy way to start is on your flyers at the very top, bold letters, put wrestling is for boys and girls, or our club welcomes boys and girls, and let people know that girls are invited. We want girls to come out and participate. That's an easy way to do that. Anyways, we're excited about girls wrestling. Top 10 is published on WrestlingUtah.com. We're excited for the All-Star match to see some of these girls compete against each other and throughout the season. They've all been great. We want all these girls to go to Fargo. So girls, if you're listening, coaches, get your girls to go to Fargo. We have a dual team that goes to Idaho in June. We go to Fargo, North Dakota in July. We want you girls there. So
It'd be nice to have a full team too, for that dual team, and not be just trying to find whoever. I mean, we could get our best girls there. That would be really.
We could compete if we get our best girls there. We're competing with all these other schools. So plan on those things, girls. Anyways, so that's girls wrestling top 10, WrestlingUtah.com. On to our next, we've got our 6A team previews. If you've noticed, we've been putting out team previews for the past 2 weeks, all 6A. Next week we start 5A. 2 weeks after that, 4A. And if we hit 2 weeks every classification, this will take us right up to the season. So anyways, be patient. If you don't like 6A, 5A is coming, 4A is coming, 3A is coming, 2A and 1A they're all coming. So just be patient. Your time will come. Anyway, 6A. Nate, give us your winner. If you've been watching, if you haven't looked at previews, look at them and then come back and watch this podcast. So Nate, give us your winning team.
My winning team is the dominant team in 5A and now 6A. It's going to be Pleasant Grove again.
Pleasant Grove.
But I can see Layton pushing them. I think it will be closer than it was last year. And I think this could be a race where it's within 10 to 20 points. So it could be close. It could be a match here or there. I just like Pleasant Grove's depth. They've always had big guys that score a lot of points, and so I like that. I mean, when you've got Keegan Wilkinson and you got the Tatioli brothers, if they're both at 220, man, you could have them both in the finals.
Yeah,
kind of like when Richie and Spencer Haywood were in the finals against each other. I mean, you really could have a PG finals there at 220. I mean, which would be a lot of points. I see Jackson Moore could win a state title there. I love Cole Zorn, but it's going to be tough with Terrell there.
So here's a question, and I hadn't thought about this, but okay, so real quick recap. PG, I see them possibly winning state titles at 160, 220 and heavy. So 3 state titles possibly right now. Layton, I see possibly 106, 138, 145, 170, 182 maybe. I mean, that's 5 possible state champs. So what if PG, so Terrell's at 45.
Correct.
So if I'm Brock Moore, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Cole doesn't beat Terrell. Who's the front runner at 52?
Yeah, maybe you bump Cole to 52.
Why not bump Cole up to 52 and have a much better shot of winning a state title? And now you move Cole Zorn up to 52. Now that gives you 4 possible state champions. Mac Dobson at 182, I don't think it's out of the question that he couldn't win the state title. And that would bump out Layton. That would give PG 5 state champions, and that drops Layton down to 4. I
don't know if Mac can beat Mason Christiansen.
Oh yeah, you got Mason at 82. That's right. So wait, okay. So if Mason's at 82, for Layton you got 38, you got 45, you got 70.
106.
106. So that only gives him 4. I forgot if Mason goes to 82.
Yeah, if Mason goes to 82, that puts a.
And that actually helps. If Mason goes down to 82, that actually helps PG.
Yes, it does, definitely.
But then at that point, so if I'm Brock Moore, I'm thinking, okay, bump Cole Zorn up to 52. Now if I'm John Fager, I'm thinking bump Cole Faust up to 95.
can you get Oakley Ridge down to 32?
Or can you get Oakley Ridge down to 32? That's another good one because you get Oakley Ridge down to 32, and I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know who the front runner is, possibly there, but I think he wins a state title.
I think he could be. He could give Tyson a pretty good run, but I would say Tyson would be the favorite, right? But if he's at 32, I think Oakley's the favorite at 32.
Right, at 32 at Fremont, you're going to have Mason Denton. He's going to fit in that 26-32 range.
Yeah. I still like Oakley being the favorite there at 132.
So, I agree. Going back to the original question I asked you, who wins? I agree that I think PG is the front runner right now, and that would be my prediction right now. I think they have more depth, and I think, especially if Coles Warren bumps to 52 and win the state title, if Oakley can bump to 32 and win the state title, I mean, then you're looking at 5-6 state champions.
I mean, can Zeke go down to 26? I mean, it's the state title. I mean, I get for your dual team, you want to have guys there, and you don't want to be bumping to, you want to kind of stagger your studs. You don't want to have two studs in your same weight, but I mean, if Zeke and Oakley are in the same weight, they can maybe wrestle for a state title against each other, So I mean, that could, if you can avoid 38 and 45 PG with their studs, and move them just a little bit around.
Because really, having PG have Oakley and Zorn at 38 and 45, it doesn't help PG out because that's exactly where Leighton studs are.
Yes.
And so if Brock can find a way to spread Oakley down to 32, bump up Coles Zorn possibly to 52, and you possibly get 2 more state champions, and that could seal the deal.
Yeah, that could go from in my opinion, a 10 to 20 point win for PG now.
Right, because I mean, you figure
you could go to 30, 40, 50 point win for PG at that point.
Right. Well, because you look at it, you win if you come first versus second, and that could be off my points, but you get 4 points for a win in the finals, right? And obviously plus bonus.
Right.
So, if they're both at 38 and 45, that's an 8-point loss. So really, if they split, then at least you pick up 8 points.
Yep.
But if 52, if Coles Zorn gets a major, pin, or whatever in the finals, I don't know who's at 52 completely right now. But
you got Mark Roush.
Right. But Oakley at 32, could he get bonus all the way through that state tournament?
Right.
Even in the finals, and that'll pick up an extra 2 points if you got a pin or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, and with how close the state tournament could go in the 6A, 8 points could be a difference, man.
That could be a huge. I mean, especially if you falter somewhere else, one of your other kids either gets hurt, or stumbles along the way, doesn't perform.
Yeah. So, anyways, PG's my pick. PG's Nate's pick. I think it's a 2-team race.
Okay, let's talk about third place. I think there's 3-4 teams, maybe 5 teams that could push for third place. I think there's 2 races: a race for first and a race for third.
Yeah, definitely. My front runner for third, and again, if you're not a 6A fan, maybe this doesn't interest you as much, but if you're a 6A fan, know that there's a race for first, there's a race for third. And coming third is good. But my front runner for third is probably Syracuse. I don't know that they have the studs to necessarily win state titles, but I think they have more depth than the other teams possibly. But I mean, obviously, it also depends on how a couple of the younger guys develop and do as well. But that's my pick for third. Nate, who's your pick for third?
My pick's Harriman.
Harriman, which could, I mean, they have some tough kids.
They have some tough kids.
And it's, I mean, looking at Harriman's lineup at 106, possibly Jacob Henderson, who's a tough freshman.
Right.
Jackson Bearden at 13, who's going to come in and compete right away. Gage Ogden came second last year at state. Tristan Hendrickson came fifth. He'll be competing up there in the top, 3 to 4, maybe even state title or in the state finals. You have Mark Roush. He's going to be competing for a state title this year. I don't believe that. Austin McMillan's tough. Talmadge Carmen, I think, again, is going to be up there. And then Mafia 220. They have a tough team. The depth is worth.
The depth's going to hurt, If they can't find some more kids to qualify, then my definite third place pick's gonna be finishing 6th or
Good,
7th, something like that, because you have some other good teams too.
Right.
I mean, Fremont, they're tough. The question is, can they get Tate Bennett and Braden Clark back?
Right. I mean, if they have those two, that's a game changer, and they're probably my pick for number 3.
Yes, if they had those two, that would be my pick for number 3.
But if they don't have those guys, they have a good freshman class coming in. They have a good, core group, and I don't know without those two guys that they can come third. Maybe. I mean, I think they're in the race.
But what about Bingham?
Bingham.
I mean, Bingham's.
You're right. I mean,
Bingham has maybe 4 state champs possible.
Right. I mean, they have. You have Marco Herrera at 13, Mason Christiansen 85, 82, 95, Brevin Butterfield, Cam Moss at 52 possibly.
Cam Moss is wrestling tough right now. I mean, he wrestled all spring and so summer, and so
I mean, Bingham, if we're talking duels, I think Bingham is right there, and it may be my front runner pick to be that third place team. But if we're talking state that combines varsity and JV, that's where I think Syracuse maybe not though, because when you win a state tournament, you score a lot of points, and Mason's going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, Mason's.
Brevin's going to score.
I can see Mason pinning his way through the finals.
Right. And so maybe those points overcome Syracuse's depth. I don't know. And they have enough other ones. I mean, they have Peyton Clark, Jackson Wardle. I mean, they have a tough team, and they're young still. They're not old by any means.
Right.
But I think they will be in the race for third. But they have less room for error. Harriman and Bingham have less room for error, I think, than Syracuse or Fremont. Both of those guys have more depth.
Well, Fremont could struggle if they don't get those two. I think it.
They could, but you still have Dens, you still have the Bowdens, you still have Kaiser, Weston War. I mean, you still have a good team.
Okay.
But yeah.
You want to talk about your little dark horse?
Yeah, so let's go dark horses here. So now we've established we have a race for first, PG Lane. Now we've established we have a race for third, Syracuse, Harriman, Bingham, and Fremont. We previewed AF. They took 6th at state last year. But I just don't know that they're going to be able to beat those teams. So really, I call it a 4-team race right now for third. Now my dark horse pick from my hometown, Westlake. So I'm putting my faith in my hometown. I think we're there. I think we're getting there. I think we might still be a year or two away from
their club code is any better.
You're right.
Cracked it.
You're right. But I think they're there. They have the depth. They have some stars that are going to compete for state titles. You have Jacob Finlayson, Isaiah Valdez. Jacob won a state title last year. Isaiah actually got disqualified for skin issues,
and he would have been right there.
Right, he could have been in the state finals.
Yeah, he could have been in the state finals.
Zach Warren's back. He did not. He took last year off. He's back, and he looks really good in the room. So you have those three that could all compete for state titles. Now, Zach, obviously, 220. I think 220 is Micah Taltioli's, right? I don't know that anybody in the 6A is going to touch him.
Can you get Zach to eat more salads?
So
pending 195.
Pending what weight Zach goes. At 195, I think Zach's a state title contender.
Yes.
But obviously 220, I think Micah is the guy hands down. So, but so 3 possible.
Unless Spencer beats him.
Right. Unless Spencer beats him, right? But you never know.
Yeah, that would be great.
You never know.
Yeah.
So 3 state title type contenders, right? Mm-hmm. But then on top of that, you have kids like Tucker Butler, freshman coming in. Calvin Bishop, Trent Taylor, Ethan Shun, a kid named last name Page.
Did you say Caden Dunn yet?
Caden Dunn, Philip Batchel. So all these guys that have either qualified for state in the past or are coming in and have been working hard this summer. They look good, and I guess the depth is there now. Now it's a matter of if they can actually put it together. So. They're my dark horse pick.
Just quick side note: is this their last year in 6A or one more year?
Well, they split next year. I don't think they'll
keep it one more time.
I think I think they're growing quick enough out there, and I think they'll stay 6A.
They'll stay, okay.
Anyway, there's my dark horse pick. Westlake, I know maybe a little biased there, I get it, but looking at their lineup, knowing their kids, I think they're ready. And I don't know that they're going to come third, but I think, you got Syracuse, Fremont, Bingham, Harriman, and I'm going to throw in Westlake as a 5-team race for third. So
I like it.
We'll see how that pans out.
Should be fun. Our next podcast, October 10th.
October 10th is what the plan is.
Jeff will be gone in 2 weeks, so we're going to do it 1 week later. We're going to Beehive Top 25 High School will be coming out. Next week maybe?
Yeah, we should have Beehive Top 25 out next week.
We'll also be previewing 5A. We'll probably talk a little UVU on there, talking about their inner squad that will be coming up on November 1st. And let's see, you're working on Mark Kleiman. We're working on the youth big board.
Yes. Hopefully we'll get that out ASAP.
Maybe, yeah.
We got Beehive Top 25. After that will probably be youth big board.
Youth big board.
We got the power polls.
Maybe our youth girls too.
You gotta get youth girls, Beehive Top 25 teams as well. So we got a bunch coming up.
And then we're gonna have our individual polls, like overall
Class power polls.
Power polls.
Yep.
And we also got the Beehive Top 25 team.
Right.
So I mean, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to break down here. So hopefully you'll join us again on our next podcast, October 10th. So
thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And again, October 10th, get on, donate to UVU Wrestling, get your tickets to the banquet, support it. We need to support them. They need our help. So anyways.
When's that banquet again?
October 1st.
October 1st.
October 1st at UVU. Details are on wrestlingutah.com. Have any questions, let us know. Anyways, see you guys on October 10th.